and welcome to Adjunct Insights, a podcast. I am Patrice Williams-Shuford, Director of Instructional Quality here at Northwest Florida State College, and today I'm joined in the studio by my co-host, Dr. Beverly Holmes, and in addition to co-hosting this segment, she is also the editor for our newsletter, also titled Adjunct Insights. She also teaches composition here at the college. And with us today is Valerie Vick, one of our adjuncts in the nursing program, and we're going to talk to her today and find out some things about her, but also some things about her teaching experience here at Northwest Florida State College. So Valerie, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, glad to have you. And I first want to ask you, I understand that you teach in the nursing program, of course. We see that you are decked out in your nursing gear today, probably what you wear on a daily basis. What courses do you teach?
So I teach foundational clinical skills in nursing for our first year nursing students here as an adjunct faculty. I oversee our simulation lab where students are able to practice and define and improve upon their hands-on clinical skills in an environment that is safe and controlled and supportive. I also guide students through fundamental procedures like taking and interpreting vital signs, performing head-to-toe assessments. We also help them with their sterile dressing changes and maintaining patient hygiene. So in these areas, we're able to kind of connect theory to practical application.
Wow, that sounds amazing. All critical things that they will need when they get out in the nursing field. It must be enjoyable to teach that.
It is.
Thank you for sharing that and what you teach. And I'm going to kind of turn it over to Dr. Holmes at this time, and she has some other questions she wants to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and what is your background which prepared you to teach these courses?
So I spent 32 years in the United States Navy, and 13 of which I was a Navy nurse. And in that capacity, obviously, I learned a lot. I did a lot, learned a lot about leadership, clinical experience, adaptability. And I think that those are valuable in transitioning into a teaching environment. I also draw upon those experiences. I took care of patients in very high stress environments, as you can imagine, and I dealt with some definitely life-changing scenarios, and it really gave me a lot of discipline, empathy, compassion, and I try to instill that in my students on a daily basis. And I also took care of patients both in the U.S. and abroad. And that is it's an experience that students really need to understand and grasp as they take care of diverse populations in diverse healthcare settings. So I use those stories and I draw upon those stories to give them a broader understanding of the nursing profession.
Okay. In the time that you have been teaching, what has surprised you the most about your students or just about teaching in general?
Well, I think that students today, they really impress me with their curiosity and their creativity. I remember when I went through nursing school 13 years ago, we were so focused on mastering the foundational knowledge of nursing and making sure that we go through our clinical rotations, and we had very limited technology. But students today, they're very they're very savvy with their technology. They answer great questions. They ask us great questions. And they question a lot of the ways that we do things. And they have very interesting, innovative ideas. And that brings energy to the classroom. And with that energy, it just transforms it into a more collaborative setting. And it really helps me or makes me want to improve my teaching methods. And that reminds me that learning is a reciprocal process where we can learn as much from the students as they learn from us.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for bringing that point out.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you evaluate students' written work, hands-on competency, other factors with their discipline?
So with nursing, student evaluation is very multifaceted. It's definitely not a one type or one size fits all in nursing. As an example, in theory, we obviously have written exams, quizzes, essays, group projects, and those build on critical thinking and teamwork and communication skills. But in the simulation labs, we have practical checklists because a lot of the procedures that we do, you have to do them in a systematic way. So we also use those checklists, and that's how we evaluate along with our formative and our summative assessments. So I think that the evaluation is really multifaceted. It's a lot of things that we really have to evaluate to make sure that these students have the skills and the competence that they need as they progress through the nursing program.
Yes. Okay. What are some misconceptions about teaching in the nursing program?
I think there are a number of misconceptions. I think that some people feel that nursing is just lecturing and just standing up there and talking about facts. But it involves mentoring and modeling professionalism. I think that nursing educators, we prepare students for those unpredictable real-world situations. Nurses are leaders, we are educators, and we are vital members of the healthcare team, and we save lives. So as a nurse educator, we are equipping these future nurses to make those critical decisions and use their clinical thinking in order to save those lives. And I think that a lot of times people believe that nurses are retired. And in fact, a lot of our nursing instructors are still connected to the community through volunteer, research, community service, and their clinical practice. And another misconception is that teaching nursing is a whole lot easier than bedside nursing, when in fact, it has its own challenges. It brings its own type of adaptability or ways that we have to be creative and adaptable to the environment. So every day in nursing brings new challenges, and those new challenges are just only opportunities for growth.
Great. Thank you. What do you do in your free time when you're not here teaching?
Well, in my free time, I absolutely love spending time with my family. Whether we're sharing meals together or we're celebrating milestones together, faith is very important to us. We go to church on a weekly basis. And I think that that faith kind of helps us support each other through our life's ups and downs. I also love cooking, and I love hosting get-togethers at my home with family, friends, whether it be just a social gathering or on football Sundays. And I think that those things really kind of help me kind of have fulfillment. It gives me time to relax and recharge and for the next week. So those things are really, and I'm also still involved in my own higher education, so I can definitely improve upon my nursing and my teaching methods.
Now, Valerie, you better be careful, because I love football, and I might come knocking at your door on Sunday because I'm a big NFL fan.
We have a great time on Sundays.
Oh, wonderful. That's an open invitation then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It is.
So anything else you'd like to add that we haven't touched on that you think people might want to know or that you'd like to talk about?
I would like to add that whether you want to go into nursing or into teaching, I think that both paths require empathy, resiliency, and a commitment to lifelong learning. Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek out mentors, and embrace those challenges as opportunities for growth. And if you're a student, keep in mind that we as nursing instructors are honored to be in the position to prepare our future nursing leaders. These nurses are going to be taking care of us possibly one day. And we really truly care about their success. And I feel that nursing is not just a job, it's a calling. And I tell my students, every single day that it only takes one person to make a difference. So be that one.
Oh, that's wonderful. And this is a lowball, unplanned question. You do get to teach classes in the new nursing facility on campus?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me
Yes,
what you
ma'am.
think of it. And
I absolutely love it. I love the setup. Just like I said, when I was in nursing a long time ago, we were just sitting in a traditional classroom. But having the seating there with all of the bedsides and the mannequins that we have, it's just like once we break after a lecture, they spread out and they go and they practice those skills right then and there. And it is a phenomenal facility.
It is. I have been in it and I get lost every time.
Yes.
But it's so great to, like you said, be able to share the information with the students and then immediately they can put it to practice.
Yes, ma'am.
It's an amazing setup. Well, I just want to thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so
This was
much for
amazing.
being our guest and sharing, and mostly sharing about you opening up your door for football.
Yes, ma'am.
But we want to thank you for listening, for watching this episode of Adjunct Insights, a podcast. And before we end today, I would like to have you save the date. For January the 8th, all adjuncts at Northwest Florida State College, we'd like to invite you to our Adjunct Summit that's going to be taking place on January the 8th in room 210, building 500, which is in the Siddle space here on the Niceville campus. We want you to come out. You can network with some of your colleagues, have some good food, and also just learn some more about your teaching and how to start off the spring semester. Thank you so much. And as always, go Raiders.
Go Raiders.